That song. Good morning, my neighbor.
You sang it yesterday.
How are you doing? No, yesterday was Oh Happy Day.
Yeah, she does this every morning.
Yeah, when I'm in a good mood. Good morning, beautiful people of the world, of Africa, and of Lagos,
Everywhere.
Nigeria. Welcome to a brand new episode of your #1 premium breakfast show on television.
Well,
Guy, don't drop it now. Let me start again. #1 premium show on television.
Listen, it's a brand new month, a brand new day rather, and of course it's a beautiful one. Hey, let's start you off like this. Change can be beautiful, and you get a golden chance to start all over again, don't you?
When you said a brand new month, I was like, wow, you got paid yesterday.
No, I would like to get paid again.
Oh,
in
wow.
any case.
Well, it's our Tuesday edition. It's easy to get this in because it was just last Tuesday
indeed.
that the month started. And it's exciting to be in your home. So we have loads of stuff for you. All you have to do is stay right here with us till 9 a.m. and you're definitely going to have a great start as we make each moment you spend with us absolutely worthwhile.
Oh,
and
yes.
of course, beautiful. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Tuesdays are my best days, actually. People don't know this.
Why?
People actually, I don't know, there's just so much you get to do on Tuesday. You prep for the week on Monday, and then Tuesday you get to it. By Wednesday, I like to rest, but I don't think there's any chance of that tomorrow. But it's okay.
Look at this man. So you prepare for the week on Monday. You literally do everything you want to do on Tuesday.
I think Wednesday is a small weekend for me. A small weekend.
Sadly, I'm robbing you of this tomorrow.
It's all good, no problem. Hey, we have so much to come with these awesome personalities. Myself, Mary, and of course Mike. I am Azino Appeal. You know this already.
And of course, I am Mary Bashua Alimi. Yes, we have a whole lot more to go. But there's something I need you to remember.
Okay.
And that is for you to not forget we are streaming live right now at tvcentertainment.tv and also on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Okay. Also, you want to send in your comments. We always like to read them on social media from wherever you might be. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. And remember, our app remains available for download on Android and iOS store to watch every little bit of excitement here on the show for your devices. So, hey, do this from anywhere you might be in the world.
Yes, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv on YouTube for more of our videos. You can catch up on past episodes, recipes especially. I know those are popular.
Yesterday's was fantastic.
Look at you.
Oh,
look
God,
at you.
I can cry.
Also on Fridays, 2:30 p.m., we mustn't forget Wake Up Nigeria Extra.
Oh, yes.
And that's on IG Live, 2:30 p.m. Do not forget. And you know that stuff you were talking about?
Which one?
I was at a training yesterday, right here at TVC,
Okay.
and when they said everybody should take meat pie for lunch, I unwrapped it.
Your
and
what was it
bit
called again?
into it.
I can't remember what it was called, but I remember what it tasted like.
I actually moaned. Like, I was that excited.
Yeah,
I
you do
was
that
like,
a lot.
Oh my God.
Mary does that a lot.
This is bliss. You know what? Straight to the highlights. To
right.
get the show on the road, we will be starting with some positive and inspiring words from Chude Gideonwo, coming up shortly with Daily Vulnerable.
Greens.
Wait, say again?
Have you put nuts in salad before?
Why?
So I like to experiment with food because I love food. And I've done so many things to food that I'm sure the biggest chefs in the world will probably have my neck for it. And you know, I've actually shared some of these ideas with the chefs. And some of them have employed it. I know for sure I gave a suggestion to Chef Nathaniel, and he actually infused it in his business. Same thing with Chef Mionce.
Okay.
There's some things we were exchanging ideas about.
You should have patented it and made money
So what do we
out of it.
call you now?
I don't know. First of all, there are two callings she missed in life. One is chef, like she's just said. The other one is last mile official.
So I know that one.
Please don't
That one is confirmed. So it's so true that it's no longer a joke.
Oh, but
It's
you
so
know,
true.
you are so good
Fact.
at it. So,
So
I
fact.
mean, maybe you should start.
So this
taking-
one you can give me them idea. So what does that make you now? You're a chef of chefs or what now? You're giving chef ideas like give me and all of that. But, you know,
I blame
get
your
back.
stylist for giving you such a nice jacket that is making you feel
Thank
like.
you. Let me get back. Thank you. Let me get back to that part of chicken. I don't know why chicken is in salad.
It defeats the
I
purpose.
feel like salad should be something
Refreshingly
vegetarian or something. It should
natural.
be
It
vegetarian.
can
Yes.
be.
Yes, natural.
But
So-
it tastes better
Do you
with
eat your
chicken in
chicken
it.
raw?
No.
Is it raw? It's not raw. It's
Yeah,
cooked.
exactly.
It's
That's the
fried or
idea.
it's grilled
No,
or
but you
something.
know what? It's actually stripped chicken, yeah?
Okay.
So it's not like you're eating it whole. Like, the chicken has been
You mean you
deboned.
violated the chicken? You stripped it bare. Oh, no, man. Let's not even go there.
How did I end up between these guys today?
So incidentally, we were talking about training yesterday. Should we leave it for coffee juice? Because I learned
What's
a lot
that?
from the training.
The
yeah?
training.
The
Okay, tell me.
training.
But not
You
apart
see, this
from...
guy is a clown.
I can imagine.
I'm not a clown,
I can
I'm not a-
imagine.
So I can give you tips on how to overthrow a government.
Oh, you learned this yesterday.
It was practical terms.
Wow.
It's not every coup will lead to a worse government. You know, some coups are
I
necessary.
was in the same training. I didn't learn that.
I'm wondering where maybe you might have.
Mary was the assistant. She was the vice president of that government I overthrew. So when I overthrew her premier or her principal, as the case may be, Mary was nowhere to be found. No one did just go and just say. So, but what actually happened was that it was a coalition of lovers of the nation, in quote. So when we
Lovers of
overthrew,
which nation?
we put the premier in check and we gave him back power, and then he was now using his head.
You know what I think about trainings? They're always very important people, individuals that are very necessary inside of that group. If you don't have someone like Mike, for instance, who walks into the studio every day shouting, what's that thing you always yell out?
Which thing?
You always yell out to everybody in here, what's that?
Bless you,
No,
bless you.
that's not true.
bless you.
You
Bless
know,
you.
you
It's
know
not
when
wrong,
it's coming
Benny.
into the
Hey,
studio.
bless
There's
you.
a particular
bless
thing he
I
says.
can't- No,
Something
no, I bring the
"Hey,
blessings.
something
Yeah,
like
exactly,
that,
and
and then
I'm
he
like,
just
blessings,
goes.
it's blessings
There's a way
to
he
me.
walks. He actually
Off your mic. It's time for news. Off your mic. It's
Who
not
says
news.
it's time for news?
We
It
have
is
a-
not time for news. We will dissect you right now.
If you see how fine
But,
that is.
but like I was saying, without those individuals in any group, it's a very drabby, boring one.
Is their
Because
mic
even
still
the
on?
facilitators get tired themselves and
Well,
they need these
true,
individuals
true.
to help
Well,
them prop up
talking
the
about
class.
Drabby, I
Wait,
know
wait.
someone who is
No,
far
wait,
from
wait.
Drabby right
She's wearing
now.
my favorite color.
She's
by
wearing
the
your
way.
favorite color.
I mean, she looks lovely in that color.
Mike.
My favorite color.
Mike, your favorite color.
Yeah, it's been a while, but Sarah
Sarah.
is back here to take the news. Hello, Sarah. Good morning.
Hey,
Hi, Mike.
Hey,
Do
that-
not
that's
try
big
to
smile.
conduct or, be the champion of a coup. It's not going to do you any good. But then let's take the news update right now. Doctors under the aegis of the National Association of Resident Doctors have resumed their nationwide indefinite strike. According to NAD President Aliyu Sukumba, the decision was due to the failure of the government to meet their requests made earlier this year. The doctors had in June downed tools for 1 week over unpaid salaries, non-payment of hazard allowance, and a dearth of personal protective equipment in hospital, among several other reasons. Meanwhile, the federal government has urged the National Association of Resident Doctors to suspend its ongoing industrial action. The government says it has addressed 6 out of the 8 demands listed by the association. The Minister for Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, made the appeal in a statement in Abuja on Monday, and he added that a conciliatory meeting will be reconvened with the health workers. He asked the doctors to respect the country's laws and suspend its industrial action, reminding it that by labour laws and ILO conventions, when issues are being conciliated, all parties are enjoined not to employ arm-twisting methods to intimidate or foist a state of helplessness on the other party. Well, the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, has applied to the Justice Ayo Salami-led investigative panel to summon the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami. In another letter, Mr. Magu also sought the recall of several witnesses who appeared and testified before the Judicial Commission of Inquiry. At the time, he was not allowed to participate in the proceedings and cross-examine such witnesses. Both letters, copies of which were shared with journalists, were authored on behalf of Mr. Magu by his lawyer, Mr. Wahab Shitu. And the letter stated, quote, based on the foregoing, we humbly request that the Honorable Attorney General, who is the main accuser in these proceedings, be graciously invited to give evidence in connection with the subject matter of this inquiry, with specific reference to our clients in the interest of fair hearing. We believe this request ought to be resolved before our client is called upon to enter his defense in these proceedings, end quote. Mr. Magu is being investigated by the panel for alleged abuse of office and other infractions. While still talking about Mr. Magu, his lawyer, Wahab Shitu, says the judgment of a court in the United Kingdom to grant Nigeria relief from sanctions in the case against Process and Industrial Development shows the result of a detailed and thorough investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which was chaired by Mr. Ibrahim Magu. Mr. Magu, who joined TVC News at 7, says Mr. Magu ought to be celebrated.
by the judge, the English court judge who delivered the judgment, did an excellent work in conducting the investigations. Even the Honorable Attorney of the Federation, as the sixth deponent in the proceedings, also confirmed that the EFCC investigation was excellent. And so if this is the case, and even if you look at, if you go ahead to also look at paragraph 89 of that judgment, you will see the excellent work done by the current vice president, who...
Well, away from that now, let's go to Niamey, the capital of Niger, where West African leaders are talking about COVID-19 pandemic, security and democracy in the region. Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo has been elected chairman of the ECOWAS Authorities of Heads of State and Government. This comes after the expiration of the one-year tenure of the president of Niger. Also at the meeting, President Muhammadu Buhari appealed to West African leaders not to elongate their tenure in office beyond constitutional limits. According to him, this is an area that generates crisis and political tension in the sub-region. It commended leaders that have resisted such temptation as they will be deemed exceptional role models in their respective countries. The president reiterated the need to guarantee free, fair and credible elections and adhere to the rule of law. On the political situation in Mali, it declared that Nigeria remains resolutely committed to ECOWAS' decision for a civil-led transition government not exceeding 12 months. Well, that's the news update for this hour.
Thank you very much. All right, let's take a look at the newspaper headlines.
All right.
I think you should have a start with the Punch newspaper.
Okay, so this morning, today's date, Tuesday, September 8th, 2020, we start from the Punch newspaper. Big headline here. ASU, TUC tackle FG on refineries. Buhari says subsidiary dangerous. Find that on page 2. And President promised to repair refineries 5 years ago. Varsity lecturers. Fuel queues will return if we continue subsidy, Buhari warns Nigerians. The photo story there on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Members of Socialist Alternative take it back and a revolution now during a protest against the recent increase in the pump price of petrol and electricity tariff at the entrance of the Labour Congress headquarters in Abuja. That was yesterday. More headlines at the bottom of the page. Lawmakers opposed to Ajayi's impeachment protest exclusion from Akeredolu's car largesse, and food scarcity prevalent in Lagos, Kano, Rivers, Abuja, says the NBS. Ogun schools reopen September 21, operate 3-hour timetable, and drop water bill. Its agenda to divide Nigeria, Afenifera says, and blue-eyed lady governor's wife hands over new accommodation to couple. And finally, on the Punch, of a bank robbery, or rather of a bank robbers, stole 28 AK-47 rifles during operation, says the DPO.
Wow.
That's what we have on the Punch.
Okay, I'll move on to the Vanguard newspaper now, and it says, brace up for more fuel price increases. And that's coming from President Buhari. Goes on to say price will change as crude oil price changes, justifies electricity tariff increase, adds those who get less than 12 hours of power not affected. At this point, many will be praying for that. No more estimated billing. Laments COVID-19 reduced revenue by almost 60%. Federal government spends 10.413 trillion naira on fuel subsidy in 13 years. Listen to Nigerians on Kama Khan. Sultan tells National Assembly. Mago applies to summon Malami as witness. Falana writes panel over misleading evidence against Mago. Bayelsa Master Plan 1.15 trillion naira deep seaport seek investors. And here we also have Edo, APC, PDP, others at war over alleged doctoring of party agents list. We are ready for Edo Ondo. IGP reads Riot Act to election riggers. We are not interested in electoral outcomes, but credibility, and that's coming from INEC. There's actually a lot more on the Vanguard newspaper, but I guess it's time for us to move on to the next newspaper, the Nation newspaper.
The Nation newspaper this morning. No return to petrol power subsidy, says federal government. Buhari seeks understanding. Private sector gives qualified support. At the top of the Nation, 774,000 jobs. Recruitment ends in 2 weeks. and hold your fire. Onkama can tells members. That's on page 7. NIREC seeks objectivity and food security. Lagos, Kano Rivers, FCT worst hit. Ondo lawmakers rattled by NURT men's presence. And at the bottom of the page, killings must stop, say Sultan and emirs. And doctors begin nationwide strike. That's sad one. Ngige action unwarranted, he says. The photo story here, you might be wondering what this is. It's a mass of people, but these are supporters and residents celebrating the Supreme Court victory with Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello at his Okene country home at the weekend. And that's it for the nation.
Okay, moving on now to the Daily Independent. Anger over fuel price mischievous, and that's coming from the federal government. It says, petrol, electricity subsidies no longer feasible. Customers with less than 12 hours supply not affected. Fuel subsidy gobbled 10.413 trillion naira since 2006. Goes on to say fuel price, electricity tariff cheapest in Africa. You remember that map we saw yesterday, which actually proved it? Almost 50 or so naira lesser than
we're almost
the
there.
second
We're almost
lesser,
equal to.
Yeah, so no provision for fuel subsidy in revised 2020 budget. CSO Speaker NLC asks it to declare mass action. Now, government resumes 45 billion naira severance payment to former Nigeria Airways staff. That's really good news. And finally, I'm just going to take this. We're not shifting Edo governorship poll, and that's coming from INEC. This is as much as we can take regarding the newspaper headlines. For this hour, we'll definitely have more in the next hour. All you have to do is keep watching. We'll take this break. It's still Wake Up Nigeria.
Let's get straight to the road at this moment and see what we can do with the traffic reports. If you want to send us reports, use @TVC Connect. That's on Twitter. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Let's see how it looks like from Fagba. If you're coming out from Fagba, you're heading towards Ikeja also. Fagba is quite free this morning as at this particular time. But around Kolodas, you don't know where that is, but that sounds nice. Kolodas. Kolodas Toy Store. It's a landmark there in Fagba. Up until Pedro Bar, Shekina Pharmacy, there is a bit of traffic, But then after Shekina Pharmacy, just before the annual service station in Iju, the road is free. From that point, you can move up until it's quite very free, up until your way as though you were heading towards Ikeja. It's quite free. But let me see the best routes to take. If you're heading to, let's see General Hospital, Ikeja, if you're coming from Fagba there. Now, okay, there are two routes. One is going to take you an hour, 13 minutes, and that route will be via, let's confirm that now, Old Ota Road up until Iyanakbaja. Don't use that road at this point. Now, by the time you get towards Iyanakbaja Bridge, it's extremely heavy there. But a shorter route will take you just about 40 minutes, a little bit under 45 minutes. That will be, of course, via Iju Road, which I had mentioned earlier. But once you get up until Iju Road, just before Old Abeokuta Street, the intersection that takes you towards Old Abeokuta Road, it's quite free. But then up until you get to Akani Doheti Way, that's talking about Oba Akran. Oba Akran is free this morning at this particular point in time. So Oba Akran up until Ikeja under the bridge, Ikeja General Hospital is free, right? And then if you are heading back, let's see how it is. Okay, of course, if you're heading back, that's not a route many people would use at this particular point in time. It will take you just under 23 minutes to get from Ikeja under the bridge to Fagba. So if maybe you had to do something at night and you're going back, then definitely it's going to be quite a very, very free one for you. Let's see how it looks like to Ajah. Let's take a look at people that are on the island coming from Ajah and heading towards Ajah, coming from Ajah. If you are going from Tollgate, it's going to take you just about an hour, 10 minutes to get to Ajah this morning. All right, so you can see that, of course, work is going on a third mainland bridge. Of course, the return journey at this point, you can head towards the island. You'd have to wait until afternoon, 1 o'clock, before you can head the other way. So, but it will take you just about an hour, 5 minutes via. So you have options with toll or without tolls. If you don't want to pay the toll fee, let's say you don't like tolling or something, and you just want to make your journey a little bit longer, it's not a problem. You just add about 10 minutes to your journey. It's not a problem. You take a detour. Most of you know that detour. What's it now? Oniru. Somewhere Oniru there. Yeah, you can take that detour somewhere around there. You just go for some sightseeing. You see some beautiful houses by the side and spend a little bit longer. But there, hey, come on, if you're going to pay the toll gate, it's going to be shorter. You're going to spend just about 54 minutes, okay? Let's see if the guys have anything, if there's anything online. If not,
okay, as it is, there aren't so many tweets. In fact, there aren't any tweets on traffic right now, unless you want to share with us using the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria. However,
some references regarding the stretch coming out of K2 this morning and Ikorodu as well. That's usual traffic, which is actually packed at this time of morning, and unusual traffic on the Orile stretch. Unusual this time because it's actually free. So that's a good one. So, hey, good luck to you. But by far, the worst hit this morning is the Oroshoki, or rather, the Oshodi-Oroshoki stretch. That's got so much traffic on it. In fact, it's almost a standstill, is what the references are saying. And I think I know why. There seems to be a broken-end truck right smack in the middle of the road somewhere there, and it's impeding everybody else. So if that's your path, you want to leave early. And, Mike, that's what we got.
Okay. All right, so I was just about to take a bird's eye view over across Lagos. I'll do that maybe some other time, but trying to see if I could get the traffic situation to see if there's any place that will have extra, or extra traffic on the road. But I'm
actually thinking you should come join us in the kitchen.
Is it by force?
Yes, stay there. So Mazino.
What's this one saying? If I don't round up, I think it will come to you.
Who is that one?
Let's go to traffic. We are going to...
stay on the road, though. Safe journey.
Where's Alagbado?
Does it?
Only Alagbado. Can't even pronounce it.
Where is it? Aha! Alago Meji, Yaba. I'm going to all those places today. But there you know. But hey, come on. That's all we can take on traffic. Let's see what's up and about.
Yes.
Okay. So.
Alrighty. So, hey, something very interesting happened yesterday. Was a viral video.
Yeah.
And I find it's very interesting because it actually touched on our profession as broadcasters. Being a broadcaster for over 15 years, I have a case to make here, and I actually want to do some education. This video made reference to the fact that broadcasters or broadcasting is not a proper job. I found it very, very offensive. And I thought to myself, all the information that you get, how do you think you would have come about it if you didn't have this apparatus, broadcasting? I think that people need to know much more about what we do. It might seem fluffy, it might seem like as if it's an easy job, but it really isn't. Wake up early in the morning, as early as 3 a.m., hit the road, all risks aside, get here, do all the preps, read all the scripts, all the papers and everything, get the information right and make sure you're disseminating it properly. Is that not
truth be told, though,
job?
Is there anybody that you seriously feel this is an easy job? Like, do you really feel? I don't say this so often. I'm very good at what I do, but it is not even easy for me.
No.
So I don't know where it comes from. So for me, it's not a big deal. See, some people will see someone play football and say you're doing rubbish. I feel like sometimes it's bad, yeah, but maybe because of the person who said it and the kind of influence that person carries and how people were hailing that kind of it was quite an ignorant statement. And how people were hailing that kind of a statement and all of that. You have to understand that, look, let's be serious. So when COVID-19 came, we are essential service.
Exactly. Tough.
See, as much as I try to say I love when it comes to doctors, and I call them, we paid tribute to them. The NHS, remember them in the UK, how much of tribute was paid to them.
Doctors,
and I feel like in essential workers, there are levels. Yeah, maybe I feel those are level 1. But we are like level 1.5. We're very close there. We're essential service.
I agree with you.
Now,
for me, you mentioned something, and that's the influence of people who actually make these kinds of statements, and what that influence can turn to or what it can cause. I think if you have such a responsibility, then you have to guard what you say. You don't just put it out there because you have a mass of people and you have the power to be able to speak. It has consequences. I don't know if you agree with me, Mary.
So on a lighter note, I just want to say I don't have a job, and I'm hoping to get a job because yesterday I felt attacked. When I watched that video, I don't know if you saw my post. I was like, this one that we've been told that broadcasting is not a job.
There's no future in it.
Please, I'm looking for a job. Maybe I can finally get a proper job. It's actually something that we might laugh over, but it's quite
It's not
pitiful.
a joke anymore.
For goodness sake, when you're let's even talk about the whole, you know, people talking at each other and attacking one another. Decorum is needed. It is actually. And I don't want to look at it from one side. Both sides already had things that happened. There were reasons for that statement and all. But when you're in a position of authority, people expect you to maintain a certain, you know, level of neutrality.
Exactly.
That's the best word I can use right now. So I don't want to really delve or, you know, really dwell upon it. The reality, though, is this. Please, I have a job, and it's not easy. It's one that can drain you physically,
Talk about
psychologically, emotionally, because we put in everything. People don't know that our job involves a lot of emotions.
So, you see, and that brings me also to talk about jobs generally. Downplaying what someone else is doing, downplaying someone else's hustle because you think that yours is on a higher pedestal. Every job, just if it's legit, the point if it's legit, if the guy is packing whatever, if he's sweeping the street, do you know how much I respect those people who sweep the streets?
Yep.
Because someday, if you leave the sand and the gravel on the road,
It's a
of
hazard.
course the road gets spoiled. Someday I might just be driving or I'm in a public transport and something happens, it could cause an accident. So the person doing that little thing, sweeping the road, in the long run might be saving a life.
Yes, lives, more like, exactly.
So that is how you can tie up. So, you know, that thing of downplaying, especially if it's legit, and that's where we get the whole stuff where you tend to downplay what people do, but because of somebody's making so much money, you don't care whether the hustle is legit or not, and we glorify
it might be
as it may
possible
be.
that certain professions have a fat envelope of their 10%.
Get the envelope.
But at the same time, no, I'm driving at something. At the same time, the fact that my envelope for 10% isn't as much as yours doesn't mean that I am still not contributing.
That's true.
No, that's probably why he said it. That, what do you do? Are you getting it? I don't want to. No, but seriously.
So, but this is very true.
Yeah.
You know, pastors,
But
they probably know how much, they know quite the
Yeah,
level
exactly.
of a lot of
Everybody
people.
gets. So maybe that's
you know?
what this is all
yes,
about.
we might not be getting.
I just want to mention a few people
millions.
who have become very, very, what's the word, relevant in decision making in the country and who started their careers as broadcasters. Cyril Stober, one of them, actually a mentor of mine. Met him once, fantastic personality. And then again, there's Abike Dabiri, who's still making decisions in Nigeria. Who's
Very
a
true.
big broadcaster today. Are you going to say that she's not relevant? That's my question. The list goes on. We can mention.
Look, I keep saying this. When people in authority need publicity, broadcasters become kings.
Exactly.
But the moment that publicity is gotten, it becomes a case of, are you stupid? Are you? Huh? Do you know who I am? You know, and it's really, you know, this is a case of the profession has been rubbished over and over again lately.
True, very true.
It's sad.
It's time to
But
stand up.
with
and-
FFK,
It's sad.
Stand
do you
up for
think
it.
what were you? I mean, for me, the journalist he did the best he could do in that situation. If I was the same person, of course, I would keep quiet. Where a lot of people have issues are where his colleagues were also. Benny, what did you calm down?
I think we spoke about this from before, but I'm going to revisit it again. Of course, broadcasters are journalists as well. Now, in the case of those guys, there is a systemic degradation of Nigerian journalists of a certain kind. It's unfortunate, and I empathize with them, noting the conditions that they have to work under.
Yeah.
However, if we can eliminate this, then I think that we can rise or bring up that profession once again. He noted something, he said something repeatedly, and I mean FFK himself, when he continued to talk about brown envelope. This is something that you think would be an in-house or, you know, something that only journalists would know about, but it is something that even the person who's being interviewed knows. So it means it's a norm, or it would seem that it's a norm.
The sad reality is the moment you put a price tag on yourself, your value drops.
Exactly.
Even if that price tag is billions,
Yes.
it just immediately makes you feel like, okay, so I can afford to pay you something to put you under me. So generally, we just need to work on ourselves. And please, journalism, broadcasting especially, is a profession.
It's a big one. it's
Before-
a very relevant
before
one. We're
it
standing up
gets
for it. We're starting a hashtag, Broadcasters Matter.
Yes,
At the end of the day,
broadcasters matter,
yes,
and
join
this
us on
break
that
also matters. We'll be right back. It's Wake Up
I'm
Nigeria.
not joining now.
Yes, 1 hour gone, 2 hours to go. To begin on the most exciting and most exhilarating breakfast show on television. Believe it when I say it, every second in this show remains magical right until the very single end.
Yes, and talking about magical, we have a mind-blowing second hour curated just for you, just to give you a truly wonderful and out-of-this-world experience. We love to do that. We
Yes,
really
indeed.
do.
And we say thank you, by the way, for joining us. As always, we really appreciate your viewership. Thank you very much. We can't say that enough.
Thank you.
It's amazing how much we discussed in between birthday shout-out and now.
Yeah.
I don't know, the MMM sort of took us into
like
discussing financial matters.
Yesterday was MMMM.
Yeah, oh, MMM.
Yes, MMMM.
But interesting conversation. We'll continue that one and maybe let you in on it eventually. Yeah. But remember, as we move around today, let's continue to observe necessary hygiene standards. There was a survey that says people are beginning not to use their nose mask and there might be a spike again. Yeah. So please, you want to live a healthy lifestyle. I beg you, still maintain the use of your mask. Social distancing still in place. Even if schools are resuming in places, you want to continue to note that coronavirus is still with us.
Coronavirus.
It's getting real.
It's even very real.
My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I am, of course, Mary Bashwa Alimi. Stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, did you know? tvcentertainment.tv on YouTube for more of our videos and the past editions and all of that. I like to go back and listen and also see how beautiful Mary looks every single time.
Well, I'm not going to dwell on that.
She can't take a compliment. You can't take a compliment.
Okay, thank you. Fridays, yes, I really must mention this. Fridays, I just always like to remind you, we have something extra on IG Live. That's Wake Up Nigeria Extra, and you don't want to miss it. 2:30 p.m. right on the dot.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Of course, we are not alone. We have Chef Ben in the kitchen.
There's a chef, with Mike.
Mike, how you doing?
Mike, you're not the chef. You've taken all the space.
I don't understand, though.
So we have Chef Isaac with us here. Chef Isaac, how you doing, man?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great to have you.
Yeah.
This one we wear gloves this morning. You want to see the food we're cooking well?
Definitely. Yes.
Okay, so for the fact that he's wearing glasses, you're going to see what we're doing very well today.
that you know what coronavirus has done? It's taking us back
to tradition,
like
cha-cha-cha.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, let's move straight to the highlights.
We're sinking a bit too much here today.
I'm beginning to get scared. I feel like it's in my head.
It's all right.
Well, still to come, John.
Absolutely looking forward to that session there. Guess what? And you reminded me earlier.
What?
I'm so excited because today is World Star Trek Day.
Yes, today is Star Trek Day. Today is Literacy Day. Today is also another Look Unlimited Day. Okay. More like for you to take out your clothes that you can give to charity, or you probably want to sell off.
Don't remind me. Clothes all over the place. At home this morning, I was like, God.
I love to. There's a time when I actually did it, and I had to take them to the laundry, ensure that they were neat,
and then get them out.
I
do that sometimes.
So let's not. It is, right? Yeah. It is. You know, but there are times there are some that are really so bad. And I want to throw them out, and then someone like, but somebody might need them. So there's that balance. I'm trying to think, okay, isn't this really too bad to give to someone?
Yeah.
You know, but like you said, part of what I learned yesterday, when you take off stuff, declutter as much as possible.
Yeah. Declutter. Declutter, give them out.
We'll take a look at more much later. However, right now, Sarah is on standby with the news. Looking all gorgeous. Woohoo!
All right, away from that, let's take the news update. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the NCDC, reported 155 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 55,160. Lagos State recorded the highest number with 42 new infections. Plateau came in second place with 25 new cases, followed by Rivers with 16. So far, 43,231 people have been discharged, while 1,061 people have died from COVID-19 complications. While doctors under the ages of the National Association of Resident Doctors have resumed their nationwide indefinite strike. According to the president of the association, Aliyu Sukumba, the decision was due to the failure of the government to meet their requests made earlier this year. The doctors had in June down tools for 1 week of unpaid salaries, non-payment of hazard allowance, and a dearth of personal protective equipment in hospitals, among several other reasons. Meanwhile, the federal government has urged the Association of Resident Doctors to suspend its ongoing industrial action. The government says it has addressed 6 out of the 8 demands listed by the association. The Minister for Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, made the appeal in a statement in Abuja on Monday, and he added that a conciliatory meeting is being reconvened with the health workers. He asked the association to respect the country's laws and suspend its industrial action, reminding it that by labor laws and ILO conventions, when issues are being conciliated, all parties are enjoined not to employ arm-twisting methods to intimidate or foist a state of helplessness on the other party. The suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, has applied to the Justice Ayo-led investigative panel to summon the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami. In another letter, Mr. Magu also sought the recall of several witnesses who appeared and testified before the Judicial Commission of Inquiry at the time. It was not allowed to participate in the proceedings and cross-examine such witnesses. Both letters, copies of which were shared with journalists, were authored on behalf of Mr. Magu by his lawyer, Mr. Wahab Shitu. And the letter states that based on the foregoing, we humbly request that the Honorable Attorney General, who is the main accuser in these proceedings, be graciously invited to give evidence in connection with the subject matter of this inquiry, with specific reference to our client in the interest of fair hearing. We believe this request ought to be resolved before our client is called upon to enter his defense in these proceedings, end quote. Mr. Magu is being investigated by the panel for alleged abuse of office and other infractions. While still talking about Mr. Magu, his lawyer Wahab Shitu says the judgment of a court in the United Kingdom to grant Nigeria relief from sanctions in the case against Process and Industrial Developments shows the result of a detailed and thorough investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which was chaired by Mr. Ibrahim Magu. Mr. Shitu says Mr. Magu ought to be celebrated. Well, let's go to the capital of Niger, Niamey, where West African leaders had the spotlight discussed COVID-19 pandemic, security and democracy. Kenyan President Nana Akufo-Addo has been elected from that meeting as the chairman of ECOWAS. This comes after the expiration of the one-year tenure of the president of Niger, Mahamadou Issoufou. Also at the meeting, President Muhammadu Buhari appealed to West African leaders not to elongate their tenure in office beyond constitutional limits. According to him, this is an area that generates crisis and political tension in the sub-region. He commended leaders that have resisted such temptation, as they will be deemed exceptional role models in their respective countries. The president reiterated the need to guarantee free, fair and credible elections and adherence to the rule of law. On the political situation in Mali, he declared that Nigeria remains resolutely committed to ECOWAS' decision for a civilian-led transition government not exceeding 12 months. Well, that's the news this hour. Mary has sports updates for us.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
As you can see,
You
Mary is
feel like
taking
you're
part
swimming, yeah, like,
in fitness this morning.
yeah, like
It's all right.
that's like a thief dance.
Welcome back.
Okay.
And just in time, of course, we're going to be doing the paper headlines again for the second hour.
Indeed, and I know for sure Mazino has the Punch newspaper.
Okay, thank you very much for letting me start. Let's start with a big headline for the Punch. ASU, TUC tackle FG on refineries. Buhari says subsidy dangerous. President promised to repair refineries 5 years ago, say vast electors, and fuel queues will return if we continue subsidy, Buhari warns Nigerians. At the very top of the page, let's start there again. FG NARD resume talks Wednesday, that's tomorrow, as doctors strike grounds hospitals. And 5,180 BDCs get $51.8 million on Forex sales resumption on page 21. Magu asks Salami panel to summon Malami on memo. At the bottom of the page, photo story here, members of the Socialist Alternative Take It Back and Revolution Now during a protest against the recent increase in the pump price of petrol and electricity tariff at the entrance of the Nigeria Labour Congress headquarters in Abuja on Monday, yesterday. And lawmakers opposed to Ajayi's impeachment protest exclusion from Akeredolu's Carl-Lages. Food scarcity prevalent in Lagos, Kano, Rivers, Abuja, says the NBS, and Ogno schools reopen September 21st. Operate 3-hour timetables. That's good news. Bottom of the page, drop water bill its agenda is to divide Nigeria, says Afenifere, and offer bank robbers stole 21 AK-47 rifles during operation, says the DPO on page 9. That's going to be an interesting read, so you might want to find that inside of the Punch newspaper.
Okay, I'll move on to the Vanguard newspaper now, and it has brace up for more fuel price increases, and that's coming from President Muhammadu Buhari. Says price will change as crude oil price changes. Justifies electricity tariff increase. Odds of those who get less than 12 hours of power not affected. No more estimated billing. Laments COVID-19's reduced revenue. So according to him, COVID-19 reduced revenue by almost 60%. Edo, APC, PDP, others at war over alleged doctoring of party agents list. We're ready for Edo Ondo. IGP reads Riot Act for election riggers. We're not interested in electoral outcomes, but credibility. And that's coming from INEC. Now we see up here, Forex turnover in INE falls by 10% to $843.97 million. That's something I've observed. Forex seems to be falling lately. I wonder why.
It's a global trend.
Yeah, it actually is. Well, that's as much as we can take on the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
I will move swiftly on now to the Nation newspaper. You can join me on that one. No return to petrol power subsidy, says federal government. Standing their ground, Buhari seeks understanding. Private sector gives qualified support. At the top of the Nation, 774,000 jobs recruitment ends in 2 weeks. And on page 7, hold your fire on Kama, CAN tells members. NIRC, or rather NIREC, seeks objectivity. Food security, Lagos, Kano Rivers FCT worst hit, and under lawmakers rattled by NURTW men's presence. At the bottom of the page, or rather the middle, these headlines: killings must stop, say Sultan Emirs, and doctors begin nationwide strike. The photo story of a multitude of people, supporters and residents celebrating the Supreme Court victory with Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello at his Okene country home at the weekend. And finally, from the Nation, let's say, I think I already covered everything.
Yeah.
But that's it for the headlines this second hour. I want to say something.
Yeah.
I've been distracted much.
Why? How?
Your shoes, they're so colorful.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, we'll get to show you eventually. Mike is in the kitchen. Let's find out what's happening
Look
there.
at all that fresh food. The
I know,
vegetables,
right?
Amazing. Wow. Mike, make sure you leave some for us. So I don't
he
trust
has
you
no
in
choice.
that picture right now.
So what's going on in there? Let's find out. And oh, by the way, we get to always make sure that we have the recipes and also the finished product of the foods on our social media handles. So make sure that you, even if you can't taste it, at least experience the sights.
Thank God I can taste it.
All right, Mike.
Over to you now.
Let's see.
Maybe you'll just be talking from head to cloth to shoe and all that.
Get off your mic, Jare. Yeah, so Chef Isaac is here, and we have our spread already out. What are we doing this morning?
We're going to do it mixed mashed ripe plantain and chicken.
Mixed, mashed, ripe plantain and chicken. Okay,
Yes.
we're definitely going to keep one of the plantain on mashed, so I can show you. We can have different ways to show you how it is, right? But let's look at the ingredients that we're working with just before you start cutting the plantain.
Okay.
Let's go over the ingredients we have here.
Great. Yeah, we have a ripe plantain.
Ripe plantain.
We have the filleted
How
chicken.
ripe? Very ripe.
Very ripe.
Or very ripe, but
Very-
not soft.
No,
ripe.
not too soft. Not too
Okay,
soft.
all
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
But because we're mashing it, we can use soft ripe.
Definitely.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. So now we have our boneless chicken.
Boneless chicken, right?
Yes, boneless
What part of
chicken.
the chicken is this?
This is the breast and this is the lap.
Wow, I love
Yes.
the breast. Sorry, the chicken part. Yeah, that's
Really
what I'm
good.
showing.
So these are scotch bonnet,
Okay.
pepper, and this is our egg.
Okay.
This our carrots.
Okay.
Our green bell pepper, tomato, onions, garlic, and parsley, which I usually use for my garnishing.
Okay.
So this is my thyme.
Okay.
This is my black pepper, and this is my basil.
Okay.
And this is my salt for taste, and this is my seasoning in vegetable oil.
All right, well, now we'll take this short recess. Immediately we get back, we're going to show you how we start the whole process. Stay with us.
Of Nigeria. And this time, it's still someone that actually makes me miss Titi, because these are the kind of conversations she really likes to do. Can't wait to have her back. And talking about the kind of conversations I'll be gisting with Jodre Alabi. He represented Abuja and won the Mr. Ideal Nigeria 2020 competition. The event was streamed live on Instagram, and he beat 39 other contenders to the crown and title, and he will be representing Nigeria at the Mr. Africa International 2021 in Côte d'Ivoire. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. So, you know, we usually talk all and on about beauty, beauty queens. So what do we call guys? Is it Macho King? I mean, which one? Because I don't know. What were you guys called during the competition?
Yeah, you could call it anything
You call it what?
Anything you'd love
anything.
to call it.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Now, of course, everybody has a journey, and I'm sure you have yours as well. Let's take it from back to the very beginning. Some ladies, you know, growing up, there's always that talk of, oh, at some point I would like to try out for a pageant. But as at the time you were, say, maybe like 5, 10 years old, did you ever imagine yourself winning a Mr. Somebody competition?
No. I never thought of that.
It was like never on your cards to show off those muscles and pose. Never.
No, it wasn't as at that time.
As at that time. So at what point did you decide that you had some kind of interest in it?
When I got to the university, then I started hearing and seeing some pageants in university campuses, and I said, okay, it's not bad if I give it a try because I think I fit into the category in some way.
Okay. So you mentioned university. What did you study at school?
Yeah, geography and environmental science.
You studied what?
Geography and environmental science.
But that has absolutely nothing to do with being on the wrong way. That's fantastic. So did you start off as a model? Because some people, when you're going into stuff like this, is usually from modeling or, you know, some kind of being on the stage and just projecting. So was that the background for you, or this is absolutely new to you?
This is absolutely very new. I had no modeling background at all.
Wow. And yet you won. You probably beat like what, maybe 20 models in the 39 other contestants. How does it make you feel to have won this competition? I
feel very excited and fulfilled because I took my time to research, study, practice because it was new. And I think my preparation was quite enough to earn me the crown.
Okay. So, you know, most times when beauty pageants and all take place, there's always a pet project. Do you have something of the sort? Do you have any pet project you're working on or something you have interest in?
Yes.
You do? Okay, so what is it about?
Yes, I do. Primarily, I am a businessman. I own my firm, and I also work as a business development manager for a couple of firms.
Okay.
So that has actually opened my eye to the business aspect of this country. And as I would say, 27.1% unemployment rate. That's what as at second quarter this year. So if nothing is done, I don't know, it would keep going up. And in my own little way, I think I could bring in some sort of empowerment project to Nigerian youth. I intend to create new self-employed Nigerian youth in a way that if we have about 30 to 50 self-employed Nigerian youth, there'll be a ripple effect on the people they'll be employing, and then a little bit of unemployment would actually reduce. Wow. So the name of the project is Youth Empowerment Scheme, with the abbreviation YES. What we'll be doing there will be that we'll be teaching and empowering Nigerian youth on tech skills, web development, digital marketing, web design, graphic design, etc. So that's all we'll be teaching them. And then we'll help them market it on freelancing platforms and then teach them how to brand to become a business or a company.
Okay. So your name, Jodre, what does it mean? It's not a very common name.
Yeah, it's not a common name. Okay, I'll explain the meaning now. My first name is Johnson, and
Okay.
then I also answered Larry, so that's where Jodre comes from.
Oh, so it's actually a melange of like two of your names. You just put them together and to create
Yes.
something unique.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You have a crown, right? Did it come with a crown?
Yes,
or it
I
doesn't?
do.
You do. Okay, so can we take a better look at it? I'm sure you have it
Okay.
there. Yeah, I'd like to see it.
This is it.
Okay, wow, wow. Does it feel heavy? Because I know for a beauty pageant, it's usually really heavy. Or it's just...
Well, it's okay. It's not heavy on my head. It's not.
Aha, okay. Let me see you wear it.
Yeah. This is it.
Wow, the crown of an achievement. Wow, congratulations once again. And you know, now that we've established...
Thank you very much.
Now that we've established what you've achieved and all, I just wonder, are you in a relationship? Because you've won something that has to do with you outstanding amongst men, and you're also a good-looking person. So I'm sure someone out there is watching and thinking, is Jodre single?
Okay, I'm not single.
You're not, so there's been somebody
single.
on the side all the while.
Yes, there has been someone supporting me all the while.
That is so sweet. Anyway, it's been absolutely a pleasure having a conversation with you, Jodre Alabi. Congratulations. Wishing you the best in your pet projects, and of course, wishing you a very good time. At least I know Mr. Ideal 2020 crown will last for a year. So wishing you the very best for this year. Okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Great. Have a great day. Thank you so much. And from that, we move back to the kitchen, where there have been a lot of activities. Like I've been hearing a lot of chopping going on. Guys, what's up?
All right, so one of the reasons why I like this guy, not in any way to cast aspersions over any other chef, but I like that he's using his gloves all through. Wonderful, great guy, Chef Isaac. And okay, we already have the plantain on the fire already, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but I love the way you chopped this chicken breast.
Yes.
You put together. Wonderful. Pa. So it's almost mashed on its own, yeah?
Of course.
Okay, but we've already spliced our carrots and all of that. Everything is looking already set, yeah? But the first thing we had to do, of course, was to get the plantain to boil, right?
Exactly.
How long should that boil for? Because, you know, ripe plantain, you can take it raw normally.
Exactly. You can take it raw of...
So how long should you boil?
Less than 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
That is long, go.
As far as the heater is very high, so
okay,
exactly.
All right.
It's gonna get very
very fast. So while that is going on, we've already chopped our chicken. We've already made our carrot look neat.
Exactly.
Okay, so like once again, let's go over the ingredients, which is for those who are just joining us now. We have
this is our Scotch bonnet.
Oh God,
Atarodo.
Pepper.
Atarodo pepper.
Yeah. Scotch bonnet, plenty name. Just get like one Scottish, one long listing, right? Yeah, and then of course we have our carrot.
The tomato, the green bell pepper. I always like my dish always colorful and everything.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So this is our egg, but the egg is optional actually.
Optional. So you're not seeing the egg on the screen now because it's optional, but you can add egg there under. Yeah. So you can just take a screenshot. If you're watching on the app, you can take a snapshot if you're watching on your TV, or take your pen and your note, write it down there, onion, tomato, lettuce, olive oil, a French loaf, chicken breast. Yeah. So the French loaf is not here, yeah? But you can use that chicken breast, Italian seasoning, and the mayo and French dressing. And of course, what?
That's parsley for garnishing.
Parsley for garnishing.
It might also not be there because I like garnishing my food.
You like garnishing your food,
yes.
I call it. So what other kind of garnishing do you use if you don't use the parsley?
Oh, I can try to use any of the, probably I can use the cucumber. Just cut it,
to garnish.
Do some, design stuff.
Okay, can you use, what's the name of this? Scent leaf.
Scent leaf. It's really local. No,
it's local. Scent leaf. Chef Isaac says we local.
If you must have to use scent leaf, I'm not against it because scent leaf has a very good texture. And, you can decide to
put scent leaf. Have you put scent leaf in beans?
You have
garlic beans?
You have to chop it and, add to the dish direct instead of just
Say if you garnish, if you use beans and garnish beans with scent leaf, you'll know that you have tried something. Okay, but then I like that. Parsley.
Great,
So
great,
parsley
yeah.
is your garnish.
My major garnish
of choice.
Yes, of choice, of course.
Okay,
so this is my garlic.
Okay, that's your garlic,
And
of
as well,
course.
I love garlic.
Mm.
Yeah,
Why? You know, so people have issues with, of course, the aroma.
The aroma, yeah.
Is there any way, after taking garlic and all of that, what can we do if we want to reduce that aroma? Because garlic is good.
Yeah,
but, you know,
it's actually, I know the aroma, a lot of people go against it, but
yeah.
I think after taking it, you take probably some sweets, stuff, yes,
some menthol or something
yes.
like that.
You know, it can...
Wonderful. But then sometimes you take garlic so much, it could actually even smell on your body.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
And that's more reason why I will literally tell the delegation or Nigerian to chop it and use it in socks rather than eating it raw.
Okay.
You know, you can, there's a way you can do it and chop it.
Okay.
A little bit marinate it, you know, to reduce the aroma, the
Wonderful.
scent stuff, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I like what you're doing with that. But let's see how your journey. Just before, while we're waiting for this to get well, that's the next stage, right?
Exactly. This is the next stage.
Why do you keep this one separate?
I just put it there, you know, just to look, so they know what I'm
because
doing.
it's not like this one can eat it raw. Then we just hopefully feel like banana or something.
Exactly,
Yeah?
exactly.
Let's talk about your journey to being a cook and all of that. How did the journey start for you?
Oh, the journey was a little bit rough, you know, a little bit rough, but not that rough, because it's something I had interest in. I love it a lot. I love being a chef.
Did you professionally go to any cooking school or you were self-taught?
Of course, I've gone to several trainings.
Okay,
yeah,
wonderful.
Trainings,
How important is it, even though you know how to cook, how important is it for a chef or an intending chef to go for
Great. You know, one thing about this chef is it's a very wide stuff, yeah. So you need to get different ideas from different places.
I like that.
Yes.
When you train, you tend to look at how people do things from different places.
Exactly.
Put it all together, you become one
professional
hell of a chef.
You know,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, the journey has actually been rough. My parents was really like, Isaac, why you want to become a chef?
We'll talk about this journey. I like this story. We still have Chef Isaac one or twice more. We'll talk about this journey. Don't go anywhere. We'll take this short recess. We'll be right back.
And welcome back. Still Wake Up Nigeria. Of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. We've been joined by someone very special, Ochuko Prudence Daniel, an entrepreneur and a Montessori director on to parenting. She's going to be talking about grooming leaders she's going to be talking about grooming leaders through Montessori education. So let's say hello to Ochuko. Hello, Ochuko. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mazino. Good to be here again.
And good to have you back again. We enjoyed the last time and we couldn't wait to have you back. Let's talk about Montessori education. Let's talk about grooming and all of that goodness you've got to share with us here today. Last week, you explained to us exactly what it means, Montessori education. Just as a reminder, before we get into the crux of it today, let's have that for anybody who didn't meet last week's show, please.
Okay, so Montessori education is a total package, kind of like education that Dr. Maria Montessori put together over 110 years ago. And this education method has been tested throughout the world and is very, very effective. A lot of countries are locked into the charter part of Montessori and they're really doing great.
Okay.
The results are tremendous.
Okay. So let's talk about those results and let's talk about grooming leaders. How effective has it been in your experience while using Montessori education standards?
Yes, as a practitioner of Montessori education, you see the results like in every day and you are so amazed at how does this thing work? How does it just happen? Montessori says something. She says that free the child's potential and you will transform that child into the world. And I would say that every child has got leadership in them. Every human being, so to speak, yes, every human being has got leadership in them. What a Montessori education does is to open up the avenue to demonstrate that leadership qualities that we all have inherent. You know, because every parent wants their child to do well. Every parent wants the best, the very best of their children. The Montessori educational method creates these possibilities, it makes them happen. How? The last time I spoke about the tripod of the Montessori method, the adult, the environment, and the child. These are the three tripods. And the adult, who is the dynamic link between the environment and the child. And I'm talking about an adult who is informed, an informed adult, which means you have to be educationally trained, you have to be Montessori trained.
Okay.
So this adult is the one who is responsible for the prepared environment. We call the Montessori environment prepared environment. It's a classroom that is set up for success. Now, we talk about the adult. The adult makes everything intentionally available for the child to be able to experience what we call auto-learning. Now, auto-learning, children do self-learning because all the materials are prepared, they are placed. There's a popular saying we have in Montessori that says there's a place for everything, and everything has a place. Yeah, so the child understands that, and from very young age, they have organization. They are able to know where to pick items from, where to take them to. The child is able to work independently because the child has been oriented. You know, I spoke about inherent leadership in all of us. Yes, you will notice that every human being, you know, wants to be oriented or wants to orient another person. When a child gets a new toy, he shows it off to his friends. He wants, you know, them to come around. He wants to talk about it. He wants to demonstrate.
So, Ochuko,
that's leadership. That's orientation.
So, Ochuko, I see that you have set it's like the environment which involves let's just say the culture has been set for Montessori education. There's the adult, there's the environment. However, what is the exact apparatus that is necessary in this environment? Is it a physical type of apparatus, or is it just by method exactly?
Okay, well, they're both. Both in the sense that the directress, we call them directress, or directors, The directress or the director himself or herself is part of the apparatus. Montessori apparatus are called didactic materials, meaning they have hidden learning virtues in them. So the children work with them, they play with them, they are physical. They play with them, they work with them, but they have hidden truths in them to help the children learn. That's why we say auto-learning. So while they are working or playing, they are learning without even knowing it. That brings me to sensitive periods. The Montessori education keys into what we call sensitive periods of a child. Those are the developmental stages, like milestones in a child's life. For example, the sensitive periods for little objects, the sensitive periods for language, the sensitive periods for, you know, so different sensitive periods at different stage and ages of the child. Now, the directress who is informed takes advantage of those sensitive periods. You know, it's like helping a child to learn without the child even knowing it.
All right. Okay. So, Ochuko, so the management of these periods, these are what help in building proper leaders or good leaders. Is that it?
Well, yes. At the same time, when a child has been through a Montessori experience where they are able to make choices, they are able to interact with their mates. They work with materials that have problem-solving capabilities in them. The children are independent. The environment promotes mentorship. They take responsibilities when, you know, something happens. And they learn to take turns. They learn to wait. These are leadership qualities.
So,
Ochuko, and before you know it, the leaders are already being built. It's intentional,
I like to do, let's take a practical example now. I'm going to put this down for a second. So let's say we have a room filled with children, let's say about 10 of them, and 2 of these have been exposed to Montessori education. What are we going to see differently if we ask these children to perhaps take charge of these groups, of this group? Would we see anything different between these 2 from the other 8? And what are these specific traits that we're going to see in these kids?
Okay, you mean 2 children from Montessori
Let's say we have a
and
group of
the
10
other
kids.
8 children from a traditional school.
Exactly,
Is that what you mean?
exactly. What traits are we going to see differently from these 2 kids?
Okay, given a Montessori environment, the 2 children from Montessori environment are going to coordinate themselves very well. They're going to know exactly what to do. Whereas the other children are going to be carried away trying to touch everything at the same time.
Oh.
The Montessori children are going to be able to ask questions. If they do not understand anything, they're going to ask for direction. They are going to carry themselves in a way that you can tell they've been oriented.
So you're saying that they're going to be able to think deductively, they're going to be able to prioritize when it comes to questions, they're going to be able to structure their thoughts better than traditionally educated children. Is that it?
That's correct. But away from that, Montessori children who have been oriented, they work independently. When you put them in the classroom, they know exactly what to do.
All right.
And where they don't, they would ask.
Okay.
And the Montessori children are not as destructive as we find other children. And no child is actually destructive. It depends on the respect and the care. Leadership exudes from one when you show them love and respect. Naturally, in our culture, Nigeria, we have some elements of Montessori. In my practice, I have seen that we do Montessori by default in our culture. But we still need to expand a little bit. We still need that respect for the child is not there because it's the other way around. We want the child to respect us.
So expand the culture. Expand the culture.
Before you can respect the child.
Okay, so I was saying expand the culture, respect the child.
Respect before the child can respect you because we are their example.
Good.
Yes, Mazino.
Well, thank you very much, Ochiko. That we needed to hear. And I can't wait for you to come back again next week so we can continue on this discussion. It's been very, very helpful. And I bet everybody out there is listening and would like to have you back. Thank you very much once again. Time is too short for us to continue, but we're looking forward to seeing you next time. And that was beautiful. Thank you very much, guys, for joining and also listening. We've got more inside of Wake Up Nigeria. Mike is still in the kitchen forming in Daboski. Let's see what's going on there.
All right, so let's get this done. Okay, so I love the way this guy cuts or splices they look so lovely, like you want to just take a bite of it and all of that. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, the plantain should be done by now, right?
Yeah, it's done
almost ready.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we just have to remove it.
All right. So what are we going to do with the chickens, by the way? The chicken breast, by the way.
The chicken is actually, this meal was supposed to be, in Nigeria they call it a porridge plantain. Yeah. Oh. And then they don't add the chicken to it. But now I added the chicken to it, and then because
so it's porridge plantain want to cook that. You've been talking all these talk since.
So now the chicken actually we're gonna first marinate it, like do it season it with the onions together and everything before we start putting on mashed plantain, which is gonna come later.
Wonderful. That means there's still a bit more to be done here.
We'll get to a lot more.
A lot more. We're going to have short snippets to come here and show them exactly what we're going to do, right?
No problem.
But just while we're rounding up, you were telling us a bit about your story and the journey to being a professional chef.
Yeah. Like I said, it wasn't that easy, but it was quite interesting because it's something I loved. I love being my mom.
You love cooking.
I just love cooking.
Sometimes I love eating, so you can just be cooking and just be eating. We have a symbiotic relationship.
I love cooking. Being in the kitchen. I try to create things. Mom say, wow, this guy was.
So when you're cooking, you're just happy.
I'm just always happy.
So this might seem like a job, but it amazes me how we humans are. He loves cooking. I don't like cooking, man. Like cooking is work.
It's really interesting.
But you love it. But when you're cooking, your body.
I'm always happy.
ginger.
Like no matter what happens, like if I have issues outside, once I'm in the kitchen, I'm a happy person.
Learn to appreciate someone else's uniqueness. That's what life
Yeah.
is all
So
about.
my mom realized that, and my dad realized that this guy's always happy and doing this. And then, but they were questioning me, why would you want to go for going chef? Your parents are going for a doctor, and others are going for law, and you just want to go for being a chef. They had no option though, because
spoke about this earlier.
The love for their child.
All right.
Is there, so they have to
Wonderful.
do what you want.
Wonderful. Every hustle, once it's legit, of course, you can keep on doing it. We'll take a
TikTok, TikTok. You know, there's a new song.
Which one's that one?
Titled TikTok.
Oh, TikTok the app, not TikTok the
No,
clock.
this one is TikTok a song.
Okay.
It's a new song actually. And you know, the clock keeps ticking and time keeps moving pretty fast. As we are equally moving to the next level, yeah, it is the last block, the last 45 minutes on the show.
We are here to ensure that the entirety of your day is going to be as fantastic as the last couple of hours. So we sincerely hope that you've had a good time here with us. We hope so. Now, the first 2 hours have gone, and we are asking that you stick around for the remainder of the 45 minutes we got for you.
Yes,
a lot
the
happening.
food in the kitchen.
We can smell it already.
Like, you know, there's no seasoning or anything, but you see the garlic, the smell of the garlic, the aroma is
Garlic,
amazing.
garlic,
I
I'm
can't
very-
wait for the meal to be ready. You see
I
the
didn't
chef
know.
hard at work, just chopping.
The thing about garlic, it smells
So strongly.
but it tastes so good.
Yeah, the
And I'm
pungent
so-
smell is what drives people off it. But it's actually,
I will eat it. I love it, actually, and I have a special method.
Mazino loves food. Like,
I do.
we're trying to decide, is this Mike? Is this Mazino?
No, Mike takes the cake.
No.
Get it? Takes the cake.
No. Okay.
My name is
moving
Mazino
on.
Appeal, of course.
And mine is Mary Bashua Alimi. There's a whole lot in stock for you for the rest of the 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I know for sure we still have to see more of what's happening in the kitchen. And you're going to be having a conversation much later.
We will be talking with a good doctor
Yeah.
about, well, nutrition.
Yes,
so
indeed.
you want to join us then?
Yes,
It's going to be very
but
exciting.
you should also keep in mind that you can always stream us live. I know it's already like 8 o'clock, and some people are like, you know what? This Wake Up Nigeria. Let me go.
Should I
Let me
go?
go. Don't worry, carry us along.
Yes.
Stream us live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Okay?
And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv on YouTube, and for more videos from today and from before.
Yes, indeed. And Fridays, as usual, at 2:30 p.m. That's a little extra we have on IG Live. I'm sure you don't want to miss it. And well, since we've been talking about the plans we have for today, I should also let you know that we have hilarious videos.
Why do you always have this look on your face?
Yeah,
I don't know.
like
we don't have what to say.
caught in the act.
The last 45 minutes. The last 45 minutes, of course.
Anyway, can I
Yeah,
go
but,
into...
we're doing something. It's actually porridge is doing with chicken breast.
Okay, chicken breast.
Style, the plenty.
Don't you just love chicken breasts?
The best part.
Of course.
Okay,
Anyhow,
so today is physical therapy day.
Who needs
So we can talk. Everybody needs it. Like I could do with a massage.
Physical therapy
And then
is-
some people, you know, broken arms or they're going through stuff. Sometimes you just need some kind of.
Well,
therapeutic
for
help.
recreation, massage is actually a very, very effective way to ease stress. You don't need to have a broken arm or something wrong with you. It's just a mental way of de-stressing.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it is one of the most expensive things that you can indulge in Nigeria. I once tried to have one. And I'm like, Benny, don't worry. I'll just ask my wife to buy Ori and, you know.
Sorry.
I will say, however, that I'm very uncomfortable if it was a man who was doing it. Yeah, I know.
I'm beginning to think you're in my head.
I'm
I was
not
gonna ask-
homophobic, however, but it's just odd.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Would you prefer a man or a woman massaging you?
Thank God I'm not the only one.
Men do massage on
Hey,
men.
you go ahead, you free.
Like, I don't think I would want a woman massaging me,
Except
but
so if it's
how
a
do you
broken-
explain that to your spouse?
I beg, if they broken.
It's a profession, and they're very professional about
Do
it.
you know that there are certain massages that they go the extra mile?
I don't know about that.
know.
There are. You should Google massages.
I will not be talking about that
now. You
now.
will find some massages that will blow your mind. And you might need one or two of them.
Collect number.
Where do you... Ma will not come and be massaging me. Is it okay?
My collect number.
Ma will come and massage me. If it's not a broken leg or something. Maybe if it's there are some women that can handle it well now. Only man just now.
Do you know that I'm actually waiting for the day Dorothy will come to the show?
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm hoping it's Mike that will interview her.
Okay.
I'm just going to say in summary that there will be no conversation that day. All you see Mike do is this. No. Well, let's head straight to the news. Sarah is still on standby for that.
Very interesting conversation you have going on there. Mike, well, you say on East Flash we'll get to interview Dorothy. Definitely not on the news. Well, let's go to the news updates. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the NCDC, reported 155 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 55,160. Lagos State recorded the highest number with 42 new infections. Plateau came in second place with 25 new cases, followed by Rivers with 16. So far, 43,231 people have been discharged, while 1,061 people have died from COVID-19 complications. Well, doctors under the aegis of the National Association of Resident Doctors have resumed their nationwide indefinite strike. According to the president of the association, Aliyu Sukumba, the decision is due to the failure of the government to meet their request made earlier this year. The doctors had in June downed tools for 1 week over unpaid salaries, non-payment of hazard allowance, and a dearth of personal protective equipment in hospitals, among several other issues. In the meantime, the government has urged the National Association of Resident Doctors to suspend its ongoing industrial action. The government says it has addressed 6 out of the 8 demands listed by the association. The Minister for Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, made the appeal in a statement in Abuja on Monday, and he added that a conciliatory meeting is being reconvened with the health workers. He asked the association to respect the country's laws and suspend its industrial action, reminding it that by labor laws and ILO conventions, when issues are being conciliated, all parties are enjoined not to employ arm-twisting methods to intimidate or foist a state of helplessness on the other party. All away from that, the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, has applied to the Justice Ayo Salami-led investigation panel to summon the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami. In another letter, Mr. Magu also sought the recall of several witnesses who appeared and testified before the Judicial Commission of Inquiry. At the time, he was not allowed to participate in the proceedings and cross-examine such witnesses. Both letters, copies of which were shared with journalists, were authored on Mr. Magu's behalf by his lawyer, Mr. Wahab Shitu, and the letter, a part of the letter states, and quote, "Based on the foregoing, we humbly ask that the Honorable Attorney General, who is the main accuser in these proceedings, be graciously invited to give evidence in connection with the subject matter of this inquiry, with specific reference to our client in the interest of fair hearing. We believe this request ought to be resolved before our client is called upon to enter his defense in these proceedings," end quote. Mr. Magu is being investigated by the panel for alleged abuse of office and other infractions. While still talking about Mr. Magu, his lawyer, Wahab Shitu, says the judgment of a court in the United Kingdom to grant Nigeria relief from sanctions in the case against Process and Industrial Developments shows the result of a detailed and thorough investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which was chaired by Ibrahim Magu. Mr. Shitu says Mr. Magu ought to be celebrated. Well, West African leaders in Niamey, the capital of Niger, discussed COVID-19 pandemic, security and democracy in a one-day summit. Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo has been elected chairman of the ECOWAS authorities of head of state and government, and this comes after the expiration of the one-year tenure of the president of Niger. Also, at the meeting, President Muhammadu Buhari appealed to West African leaders not to elongate their tenure in office beyond constitutional limits. According to him, this is an area that generates crisis and political tension in the sub-region. He commended leaders that have resisted such temptation, as they will be deemed exceptional role models in their respective countries. The president reiterated the need to guarantee free, fair and credible elections and adhere to the rule of law. On the political situation in Mali, it declared that Nigeria remains resolutely committed to ECOWAS' decision for a civilian-led transition government not exceeding 12 months. Well, 2 Australian news outlets have removed their reporters from China over what they say is a diplomatic standoff. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation's Bill Burchers and the Australian Financial Review's Mark Smith landed in Sydney on Tuesday. Chinese authorities questioned both men before their departure. They were asked questions about another Australian journalist, Chen Li, who works for a Chinese state media and has been in detention since last month. Relations between Australia and China have deteriorated in recent years. Well, that's the news today on Wake Up Nigeria. Sports news is up next.
Okay, so I was caught up, of course, watching that. It's good to learn languages. And probably if we had to do Portuguese or Spanish or French or something, they might laugh at us the same way. But hey, come on, that is not in any way trying to make a joke of them, but just trying to catch fun and see what it is on a lighter note. All right, so we've mashed our plantain already. Take a look at this mashed plantain. You love how it looks, yeah? The plantain is already mashed, and we are working on our chicken breasts. It's looking too white. We're not going to put some color to it.
We're going to color it. We just want it to get soft.
Okay, so get to take a look at what our mashed plantain looks like. It smells nice, by the way. And of course, we're putting some color to the chicken breast. So we're marinating it, right? In oil.
Yeah.
Okay, we're marinated already.
Yeah, you can see I didn't put much oil. Okay. Because I don't really like oil dropping from my dish.
Very true, man. Yeah, that is. Does anybody like it? Do you like oil dropping from your whatever you're eating?
No, there's something we actually missing here. Okay. You know, you can always use palm oil.
Oh, you see, palm oil, there's some color now. It's not everything, no. Sometimes.
I think that's why I have so many color here, you know?
Sometimes you use this thing and all of that, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just coming to find out what's happening because the excitement is a bit too...
Yeah, sure,
Hello,
definitely.
Chef. What's going on, man?
Definitely.
We are good. We are on it.
Definitely.
He's having too much fun.
Oh, God, this... Off this mic.
Okay, so what are we doing anyhow? What's happening?
What are we doing? Not what are we doing.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Some mish.
So yeah, so
it's not you. Wait, let him.
Okay.
His voice is loud.
Okay.
Okay, because I want to answer you now. Talk. Go back to that
Oh yeah, talk. What's happening?
I'm not talking again.
You see?
But hey, it's porridge and chicken breast, and I'm looking at that combination. I think it's going to taste lovely.
All
yeah.
right.
And this guy knows how to dice his stuff, man. See the way that carrots they look. Mix it with the green and orange. What does it give you? Green and orange.
I can't remember.
Green and
I missed class.
These are not primary colors, so they'll give you a tertiary color because these are secondary colors already.
All this one on top of food, please. Is that are those bells?
That's green bell pepper and carrots.
Okay.
And carrots.
Yes.
So I'm thinking of mixing both together and just throwing it inside with some onions and all of that. That's salad stuff, yeah? And then, of course, we have parsley for seasoning. Oh, this now does look colorful, yeah? Okay, so now I guess come and take a look at this now. This is looking something.
You know what I think, Mike?
Yeah, what's up?
Someday it should be you and I in the kitchen.
I mean, we will face off now. It's battle.
Let's do a face
Friday games. Battle.
That could be a Friday game.
Battle. We'll just start it from the beginning of the show. But you want to try me?
I think
I cook here for you.
If we have our own chefs,
so let me
do something.
I'll be sending you home delivery. You won't need your wife. I cook here for you.
To feel I don't want to cook it.
I'll be sending you home delivery. All these chefs. Come, I've been here for 3 years. So you're
okay.
just enter now. All you look here, I'll be looking alone.
Leave this thing, Jerry.
I cook here for you.
Well, you're doing a great job. That's very nice.
I like the colors, the way they're coming in. So there's no, I like the fact that I didn't use palm oil. At least so now you can see the color from the different ingredients that come together.
So wait, I thought you said it was porridge.
It's porridge, but it's how he's doing it.
What is that?
That's the...
So that's going to go inside?
Yeah, it's going to go inside. It's going to go inside. Then we mix everything together.
Get your glasses are for something, oh. You don't just wear the glasses for... for aesthetic value.
Wow. I can't wait to
Roast
see how
everything
it
together. I'll make sure the plantain is the socks and everything is inside of it.
Sorry, wait. This
Okay.
is plantain.
Yes, that's plantain.
I thought it was
we
like,
mashed it a bit.
I thought it was
We mashed it a
potatoes.
bit. No, we mashed it a bit.
No, it's
But
the
definitely, I
it's
think you
mashed
can use
plantain.
potatoes if you want
Can we
to.
use potatoes?
Of course. Against potato, you can use like Irish potato.
Okay.
No, I don't
Can we
like
use
that. Let's
sweet
do sweet. Let's
Sweet
do
is very much nice.
Can mix sweet and plantain together.
Oh,
So it hasn't been boiled.
it's boiled.
It's boiled.
It's
boiled
Yeah,
already.
It's boiled. It's boiled.
Okay, where have you been
boiled.
now?
I've been busy now. I need to hear my
Busy
interview. I
where?
was talking to Ochuku.
Okay,
And then
busy.
you can even try to use the ripe and the ripe together.
Ah,
Yes,
okay.
yes, it's become more nutritious. You know, a lot of people trying to avoid unripe plantain because it doesn't have a sweet texture.
Wait.
But though it's very healthy.
What happened to this?
The egg?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making an omelette. Like I said, it's optional. So yes, I'm just gonna add it to it.
Considering omelette at the end of
Yeah,
this
I'm
thing.
gonna do omelette, then I'll plate the dish on it.
Oh my. Nobody should have hope for this thing at the end of the show.
It's very interesting.
Because, man, I might not like pyramid. So this egg has already a pyramid.
I know the reference you're talking about.
Pyramid.
I know my games
So this
have
is
a lot of
3, 2, 1.
pyramids.
So, you know, we're already 6 eggs. Omelette with 6 eggs.
Where is,
You know,
I wish
this
Mary
place-
could be here.
No, she's not here.
You know,
we
this
don't
place
need
is
that.
quite cool. So I added enough pepper. I don't know if you like it.
I love it.
I don't
that
know if
the
you
question or a
like-
statement?
It's a question. I don't know if you like pepper.
Okay,
I
change
can
it.
actually add more.
Change it.
Okay.
Change it. How can I say if I like pepper? Pepper is what makes everything eatable or edible.
So
whatever
right
you
away,
call
I'm
it.
going to add my mashed.
Okay, let's just see you. Let's round up with you.
Yeah.
Let's put this and
I want
we'll
to
take a break after you
I
put
want
this.
to bring the taste up a little bit.
Okay.
Yes.
What's that?
These are seasoning.
Oh, seasoning. Okay.
Yeah, and then,
Then-
these are salt.
Okay.
For more seasoning.
Okay.
For you to have more taste.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. We're waiting for the finale.
So let me stir it together. So
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Right. And then.
I don't know. Actually, I observed the thing is this thing have a very sweet taste, so I don't need to season too much, so the taste will not be too much. So now
This
let's-
guy, you can't talk. We don't need presenter with you. Baba can yarn. Okay, that's it. It's going in. We'll just take this break down while this is going
Oh,
up.
boy. We can't wait to see how this all ends up.
Definitely. All right, we'll take this time out now. Oh, wow, so that's it. It has gotten in, and oh, man, looks lovely. We'll take this time out now. The final quarter of the show is coming right up. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
It's still Wake Up Nigeria, not 3 men in a kitchen.
It's time for us to talk nutrition on Wake Up Nigeria, and to do justice to that is Dr. Kelechi Okoro. She is a global goodwill ambassador and Nigeria's foremost health influencer. She's also the founder for, I beg your pardon, she's also the founder for Heal for Africa. She's multi-talented and versatile. She's a medical doctor with an impeccable track record through a Health Attainer brand. She has recorded massive successes in effective health communication, reaching millions of platforms. Today, she joins us for nutrition to talk about the best nutrition for a glowing skin. It's so good to have you on the show, Dr. Kel. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
Good
everyone
morning. Good morning.
watching. Yeah, good morning.
Okay, so everyone wants to eat to shine, eat to do almost everything. And then you're telling me that I can eat to glow. Sis, you've got me in your corner already. I can see you glowing already. So you know what? We're just going to hit the nail right on the head. You tell me those foods we need to eat to have glowing skin, because I'm literally going to be taking notes.
Okay, yeah. So, first of all, I'd like to say charity begins at home, right?
Yes.
So it would be very wrong to see someone here talking about glowing skin when the person doesn't have a glowing skin. So put some respect on my name and see my skin. It's really glowing. I have minimal makeup.
Yeah.
And because I practice what I preach. Yeah.
That's
So-
good.
So I'm just going to go right to it. So basically the skin health is 80% what you eat and not just what you rub on your skin, right? A lot of people are going into creams and all of that, thinking that that's what you need to have a glowing skin, but it's what you eat. First of all, the most important thing about glowing health skin health is water. Yeah, when we talk about water, people don't water like
good old water.
Free skin glow, water. Okay, when the skin is hydrated, the skin glows. So basically, drinking plain water, about 3 liters is required for adults every day.
Wow.
So hey Mary, do you take 3 liters of water in a day?
Me, 3 liters.
Do you?
I
Yes.
barely take one. Like, I could go all day without drinking water, and that is such a bad habit. But it's a good thing you've told me, because I want my skin to glow even more. So I'll definitely drink more water. Thank you.
Okay.
So what else?
So more water. So something else is the fruits and vegetables. We Nigerians, we eat a lot of staple food.
Yes.
Like 90% of our foods, carbohydrates, sugars, and then we just drop a protein on it. Yeah. That's really wrong for your overall health, and also basically for skin health. You need to take lots of fruits and vegetables every single day, not just when you go for parties or owambers. Every single day, you have to take fruits and vegetables, okay, because they are high in antioxidants, okay, and they are and vitamins also. They are really good for the skin. So fruits and vegetables. I don't think I should go on and mention fruits and vegetables. I'm sure all of us know what fruits and vegetables are, right?
Yes, of course. We know most of it, but you know, sometimes when fruits and vegetables are mentioned, there are probably specific ones that could aid that glowing skin. Or every fruit and vegetable is useful.
Fruits and vegetables, they have vitamin C. They have vitamin C and all the vitamins and ingredients that you need for skin health. So fruits and vegetables go all the way, right? So, and then another food that's good for the skin is fatty fish. We have different kinds of fish, but basically the fatty fish that contains omega-3 fatty acids, they're really good for the skin, okay? We have salmon, we have mackerel, we have herrings. I don't know the Yoruba or the Nigerian names for this fishes, but any fish that has omega-3 fatty acids is really good for the skin because it has a high source of vitamin E.
Dr. Kel, if I don't like eating fish, can I get it from like from liver oil, you know, the capsules?
You know, yeah. It's better for you to take them in natural form. I was going to get to that, supplements. Okay, supplements are good for the skin health, but basically you would need supplements only when your natural food eating habits are not optimal. So if you can get this this ingredients or these substances from your natural food, then you know, getting those from the liver, they call liver oil and all those capsules. Really
but some people can't abide the taste of fish, and of course we also have vegetarians. So how do we create that balance?
Okay, so like I said, if you can't go for the natural one, then you go for the supplements that are more expensive. So the choice is yours. Spend less or spend more for good health. The choice is yours, okay? Whichever one, because these days people are more interested in supplements because it's easy. Okay, you just wake up in the morning and take all you need in one capsule or in one powder form. That's fine if that's what you do, if that's what you want to do. But if you can go natural, that's even easier and cheaper. Okay, and more tasty, right? You're going to enjoy doing it because you're eating it from your food, right?
Yeah. Dr. Kel, you've given us really amazing tips, and I know you have a lot more for us. However, we would like to continue this next week, if you don't mind. Right now, however, I have to wish you a very good day. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you very much.
Don't worry, you'll see the difference in my skin tone by next Tuesday. I'll be drinking like 3 liters of water. Thank you.
Vegetables, and all right. Yes. Take care of yourself.
Yes, that fish part though. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
All right, I was actually talking of myself when I mentioned the fish. Like, there are some of us that are not really big fans of fish. But it's all good. It's time for me to join the guys in the kitchen. The food is ready.
Mary, if only you had seen what we are seeing.
What? What are you guys seeing?
As in, the plating is fantastic. Mike is here doing, I don't know what Mike is doing, by the way. He's just there playing, but...
Mike is always doing that. What is this?
I saw something so spectacular just now.
Let me quickly take a seat.
As in, please be very far
As the
away,
only
Sha.
female here today,
Wow.
I'm just saying.
That was
I'm
beautiful.
ready.
This is spectacular, to say the
gosh.
least.
But you know this guy's glass, I said it before, this glass, he has use. Chef Isaac, even before you talk now, I'm impressed, right?
I am very
So let's
impressed.
just, this is what it
Wow.
looks like
This looks
finally.
good.
And whoa, I love this flower around it. I
It's not
mean,
only flour.
makes it lovely. So Chef Isaac, can you just, let's round up. How
Great,
does,
great,
how does this come to you?
Great.
I'm waiting.
Let him finish, Auntie.
You just
I can't wait though.
I'll miss plantain, which is the mashed ripe plantain and chicken. So what I did is that I actually shred my chicken in a very small size.
Okay.
And I have carrot there, I have the green bell pepper, I have the atarudo, which they call the Scotch bonnet.
Yeah.
So for my seasoning, I have my spices, sorry. I have my thyme, I have my basil, I have my salt.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and
I feel sorry for our guest. I'm literally salivating now.
so
But go on.
as a matter of fact, I also added some egg. I mixed some omelette, which is optional.
Okay.
Yeah, though I just like to plate it on the omelette
Okay.
instead of plating directly.
Okay,
And we
okay.
cut it together, it comes up to a
When I see
very
this
nice
thing,
taste.
like, when I see this thing, I think of noodles.
Okay.
This is torture. Please, can you?
Yeah,
Mike, it's not good
this
what
is
you're
my-
doing now.
So,
Guys, we
so
have,
this is my parsley. Which I
we
used
have
to garnish
information from upstairs. You guys are needed upstairs.
Yeah, no, we have to end the show.
Listen,
you guys should
information
go
came to me also.
So
Alright, Pojime. Let's
Okay, Mary.
dig into it.
go
Like, oh my gosh.
You worked very hard today, so you deserve it.
I
you are talking
did.
too much.
I
Just dig into
know.
the
I
food.
know. I
Just
know.
cut it along with the omelette.
Okay, with the omelette.
Exactly.
Mazino is crying. Like real tears.
So,
Exactly.
You know what I'm going to do?
okay.
Great.
Okay. Masumobi bayo.
I'm going to approach this.
Okay, so,
Great.
so this is the best way to eat it.
Exactly.
Just
Aha.
Eat it today.
So, now wow.
Take it along.
Hurry up now. Is it good? Oh, but of course. Mary, words. Use your words. Use your words. I'm sorry. I have to let.
It's been a wonderful time on the show. Thank you to Homely NG for our kitchen accessories,
I
and of
wanna be
course
able
to
to
everyone who was a guest on the show.
express
Mary
it.
and Mazino need a room to eat, by the way. Wonderful time. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
What do you mean by that?